Hi, and welcome to Edge of Play's New Coach Starter Pack Chapter 6. For many people, the match day is what it's all about. You do all your work at training, all the preparation there, reflection on that, and you build up to a match, and you want to see things you're working on the training ground come to fruition on the pitch. You want to see your players developing, enjoying themselves, and just the buzz of a game. That's why we love football, the adrenaline flowing. It's exciting, an exciting thing to be part of. In part 1, I want you to look at how you can do some planning so you can make sure that the actual match itself is more enjoyable and more productive for you. To aid the planning, I want to look at management first of all. So you've got who, that's from the point of view of your squad, who's available, who's unavailable, who is due to have a start this week. So this will be looking at your records and being clear on that. Who are the opponents? If you're playing away, where do they play? What's the surface? Making sure all your players know that. And who's the referee? If you're the home team, you might have to contact the referee to confirm the fixture. By what? I mean, what type of fixture? Is it a cup game? If it's a cup game, do you know if it goes to extra time or not? If it's a league game, is it a standard kick-off time? Being clear on that. For equipment, what you're going to need to bring along, what kit is going to be needed. You can find in Chapter 2 two really helpful videos on that, what you need to take to a match day. In terms of where, you're looking at where the venue is, the meeting place, you mean at the ground, or you're going in convoy to the ground, is there a car park, all these kind of practical, logistical things. And when's the arrival time? How soon before kickoff do you want people to arrive? You're probably looking at least an hour. You may want a little bit more than that, a little bit less. What time's kickoff? And afterwards, what time can people expect to be picking their children up from the game? These are all important things that everyone needs to know, and you just want to make sure that's all clear in your mind so they don't detract in any way from your coaching delivery on match day. Now, much like with the training session, I would suggest getting a template together that you can use for all your matches. This will help you deliver team talks, get information across to players, and just make sure that you're covering every base really. So I've done an example one here. Got the key information in terms of who you're playing and where at the top. I use a template for my match day planning, but that's open age football and university football, and it's detailed. Now, I would say if you're starting out and you're just coaching for the first time, or even just that you're coaching a junior side, you might not need as much information to go across to those players. So I've tried to keep this relatively straightforward and simple here. We've got the number on the shirt, the position the players are playing in, formation here, name of player, any advice you want to give to them in that game, team instructions, so things that are relevant to the team as a whole, and any set piece information here. So this kind of performer would give you the ability to make sure some of the key info is given to the players in the pre-match team talk. An example here then filled in, you might have your team name at the top there, got the match details. I've just put the word name there, but you'd have all the names of players and their starting positions down the side as well. In terms of player advice, you might not need to tell every single player something. It can just be individual things between you and a player. If your goalkeeper needs to work on their talking and communication with the defence, that might be something you put down here. This isn't something I'd show the players, I just use it to be able to remind myself when I'm doing the team talk, some of the key pointers. Now you might go off script with that as well. I definitely find I do that. I'll have a load of information in front of me. What I choose to pick from that, I judge the moment. And if it needs to be said at that point. If it feels right, I do it. If I'm short on time, you might just choose the key details you want to take from that. I have found personally though that just the process of you doing this planning beforehand makes it all clearer in your mind. So having that firm in your mind is just a great thing. So you go to the game feeling really quite clear on what you want each player to do and what you want the team to do as a whole. On the right hand side here, I've put 3 pointers there. Don't give yourself too many. You could easily put 10, couldn't you? About the back line doing this and how to deal with set pieces and how to counter-attack and transition, pressing or not. You could come up with so many things, but young players especially, they can't handle that amount of detail. You're just going to end up diluting what you're saying and they won't take anything in. So try and come up with, 1 up to 4 or 5 things you want to tell the team as a whole. I've kept it to 3 here. I'd say for juniors that'd be plenty enough. So I've put here positive communication, be brave and patient in possession, and work together out of possession. And those could be 3 pointers that you do for several games in a row, if that's what you feel that the focus is. Until they get those right regularly, you might keep repeating those and then gradually adapt them as new challenges come on board. Set pieces, for some people they're crucial and so important, and some people will spend very little time on them and just think they're quite a mundane topic, but a fair amount of goals are created and scored from set pieces. there are extra opportunities, and there's certainly development points for your players. So having a bit of an idea, a defensive plan on set pieces and an offensive plan on set pieces too is important. Are the players clear on who's taking what, or are you going to have an argument each time, or it's just whoever's the most bossy and loudest goes, I'm having the corner, I'm taking it. I find generally there, you giving some instruction takes away all the argument and all the social issues you might have for every set piece and have it clear in the players' minds. I would personally suggest as well to rotate that. If it's younger players, give different players a chance to take those corners, have a go at the penalties, so they develop in those areas. And you never know who could be an excellent penalty taker if you don't give them a chance. So there's some key information you might have ready, building up towards the game. Another thing I'd suggest as well is having something visual for the players in the changing rooms when they're getting ready for the game, just so they can see the formation and where they sit in that. You might want to have names as well of the players. It could be that the replacements not seeing themselves on the team sheet. Maybe that's harder because replacements and subs are a very big part of the game. So this is just your starting side. It might change after 10 minutes. But I suppose different players are starting different weeks. At different points they're going to see their name on that team sheet on the wall there. The players will get a bit of a kick of seeing their name on the sheet there, just like when they're watching the professional game on TV. You saying you're playing right back in a 3-2-3. Not everyone can visualise that, so just having this set out so you can see what that means and where everyone else is playing in the team as well, because you might switch off once you know you're starting, but knowing where everyone is in the team, that could really help the players. And you might even go a step further as well and have the key movements you want from your players. You have to make a decision on this really, how the players will take this on board. But if you're wanting your goalkeeper to be a sweeper keeper and to cover in the wide areas when the opposition put the ball into the channels, this could show them that, as long as they understand that and they're not running out of the goal at the wrong moments. If you want your fullbacks to overlap at the right moments again, you could be showing that by this. You might have wingers that you want to start wide and move inside, and you might have midfielders where you want one to sit more and one to push on. It might be that could be either of the midfielders, but as long as one sits and one pushes on, that's the shape you want. So this is something you can do as well, just to give the players a bit more information. Finally, some general tips in terms of planning then. Putting your time into the planning stage makes the match day more smooth. You can enjoy it more. If you just leave it all to the actual match day itself, you can sometimes find you don't enjoy the match day because you're doing all the planning and all the logistics and all the kind of organisational things you don't want to be doing. Player replacement plans could be an important thing too. Just having an idea of who's coming on for who or at what point you're making those replacements and those substitutions. I think that can be really helpful because once the game starts and different things are going on and you're trying to coach in it, you don't want to be continually thinking, right, what time's this player been on for? How long has this player played in recent weeks? Having some kind of plan, even on a bit of paper, just to make sure that you get all the minutes into the players that you think are fair and right, can really help you out. Just so you're not spending all your time during a match thinking about rotation. Particularly for younger players, are you giving them all the opportunity to play in different positions and different styles of play? Now, this causes quite a bit of contention in football because there's two different crowds, isn't there? Are we developing or are we trying to get results? And I think the younger the players are, for me personally, you're trying to develop them. Now, once you get to open age, the players I'm working with, we know the players' strongest positions. They sometimes change slightly, but we're trying to win games. We're trying to win games and we're trying to put players in their strongest positions as we believe they are. And that's the way it works. And we have a style of play as well, which we try and really craft and master. But when you're a younger player and you're learning your trade, just like at school, you're getting a broad curriculum, so you can, look at each subject and then choose the area you want to do as you get older and start to kind of really zoom in on that area. So it could be science and you go into that and become a scientist. Think of it in a similar way with football. You, of course, want to get across your philosophy and the way you feel the game should be played, but can you give those players a broad curriculum, a broad range of skills and styles of play? Can you get them playing different positions? A player might come down and you think that player's a defender because they can tackle. You never know, could that player have been a centre forward? Give them a chance. You just give them a little bit of exposure to that and see. It'd be good for the player, it can be good for the team as well. As a left footer, I was straight away put on the left, and that was the way for me all through junior football, and that didn't really change. And so looking back at it now, I wish I'd been given a chance to play on the right and cut inside onto my left foot, use my right foot more. I wish I'd been given a chance to have go up front here and there. I don't think I'd have been great at it, but who knows? I would like to have tried it. So just have a think. Are you giving those players the opportunity at a young age to try everything out? By the time you get a bit older and results kind of take over from development for some people, it gets harder then to take those risks, if you like, and play players in a position you're not sure will suit them. So this is a chance now while they're younger. Give them an opportunity. Can you give them a chance to play different styles? And that different styles of play, you might believe in that possession game, which you love watching on TV, but can you give the players a bit of an example too of how to counter-attack quickly or how to play more direct? Just maybe a part of a game or just the odd fixture. Give those players all the experiences that in the future will stand them in good stead. Because you're not going to be their only coach. So they go along to a team at one point and you've done nothing but possession play, and they have a coach who wants to play counter-attacking, fast, direct football. And they might be stumped by that completely and miss out. So just have a think about how you can prepare your players fully for styles of play and different positions. I'd say crucial in your planning, focus on your key messages. What are the key priorities from this game? What do you want to get out of it? And that's why I'm saying don't do too many team instructions, even player instructions, because you'll just clutter all their minds with it and they'll struggle to get any of it and come away with any kind of clear plan. In terms of equipment, make sure you take warm-up cones and bibs. That's something that can be overlooked. But I'd suggest looking at chapter 2 of this course, which is about the coach's kit bag and about the team kit bag as well, and all the equipment you need for training and matches. Another thing that can be overlooked is the warm-up. So have a good think about how you're going to get the bodies and the minds ready for that game. And if your focus that day is about, retaining possession, you might do some kind of warm-up that involves keeping possession. If it's about fast attacks, then do a fast attack warm-up game. It really can be as simple as, if you've got 12 players in the squad there, you might have a couple of goalkeepers doing a goalkeeper warm-up, one with the hands up, having some shots on each other, and then the rest might be doing a little 5v5 game across the pitch. As simple as that. That's going to involve lots of different parts of the game and will get them really well prepared for a proper match. And just being really clear about those club codes of conduct for the players, the parents and the coaches. Just having that really clear in your mind, what's expected of everyone in terms of their conduct, behaviour and so on at a match. You don't want any doubts about the conduct that's expected of everyone on match day to get in the way of your coaching. So if you're clear on all those things, which at first might be you looking over it and being really clear on it each time until it becomes fully in memory, and then it becomes easier. But early on, be really clear on those things, because they can sometimes get in the way of your coaching in a big way and totally detract from what you're trying to get out of a match day. So that's part 1 in the planning stage. In part 2, we'll look at the actual match day itself and how you perform as a coach and what you can do to support the team on the day.